Before I start this video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons, and if you would like to join my Patreon, please check the link in the description below. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to NerdDen here once again, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some very interesting information that was included in this month's Doctor Who magazine, which obviously talks a lot about the future, obviously, you know, with Millie Gibson playing Ruby Sunday, Ncuti Gatwa playing the 15th Doctor, and talking about the new team for 2023 with David Tennant, Catherine Tate. We know we've got Phil Collinson back, we've got obviously Russell T Davies back, Jane Tranter, etc. You know, the old team is back, and obviously, you know, there is going to be a new exciting era that will come after the 60th anniversary with Series 14. But there's one thing that I want to talk about in more detail, and there is something that has been tweeted that is like obviously an extract from the magazine itself, and that is coming from Russell T Davies. And it does confirm that Disney are involved more so in Doctor Who than we previously thought. It's more so than just distribution rights. The reports were correct. Obviously, the budgetary stuff is a little bit, not correct, not accurate. But Disney have creative control over Doctor Who. Yes, they do. And I want to give my feelings on that and explain it a little bit more. But let's get a look at this quote. So, in the issue 586, Russell T Davies said he wrote a new, brilliant and expensive opening for episode 1, which has broken everyone's backs on a note from Disney that the original scene wasn't as much fun as the other episodes. So, Disney trying to get Doctor Who to basically look visually appealing in its first episode so it can lure people in. But it's obvious that, yeah, the creative control, they're giving Russell feedback, which obviously is to be expected. They've got creative control over Doctor Who now. And are fans right to be worried about this? Now, I will be completely honest, when I saw this, I was a little bit concerned, because obviously Doctor Who having rewrites is not unheard of. You know, let's be honest, obviously Doctor Who goes through a few rewrites, original plans that never see the light of day, there's scenes that are cut, etc., as you would expect with any other media product. However, I will say that with Disney being involved, yeah, people have the right to be worried, because Disney have taken control of franchises before, such as Star Wars and Marvel, and there's been varied elements of success. Obviously with Marvel, they took over very early on in the MCU, and they saw success right up until the end of Phase 3 with the release of Avengers Endgame, which, culminated all the story that was set up with Thanos and the Infinity Stones. And then after that, things got a little bit oversaturated with Disney Plus shows and various other spin-offs, and it got hard for the casual viewer to keep up to date with the new story. And that was a turn-off point for a lot of people. And then, obviously, with Star Wars, it's kind of been that the movies were heavily influenced by studio control, and there were a lot of changes here and there, and it resulted in each movie in the sequel trilogy not feeling like a sequel to the previous movie. So it just felt like each movie proved to be pointless when the next one released. So yeah, Disney's involvement in a franchise after buying the company, or buying a stake into it, does kind of give people the right to be worried. Now, obviously, they don't outright own Doctor Who. They haven't bought the BBC. They haven't bought the rights to Doctor Who. But they do have some creative control in the future of the series. Now, I don't think they have any creative control in the 60th anniversary. I don't think they've contributed any funding to the 60th anniversary specials. They were filmed and that before this went into fruition. However, I do think they will be airing on Disney Plus outside of the UK. But obviously, Series 14, which will be airing next year, will definitely have some changes to it, because, Disney are more involved with it. And I do think that involvement will gradually increase as, the new era proves to be a success, which I honestly think it will be. I do think Doctor Who is now back on the right track. to become potentially a global phenomenon once again. It did kind of lose its way, sadly, in recent years, and I do think that, yeah, it does clearly have the potential to be a global franchise once again. And obviously with that, it gets put into the limelight, especially with a big American broadcaster. And Russell did also say in this magazine, the same issue, that yeah, it's not unheard of for American producers to be involved in British productions, and that is completely right. He is completely right in saying that. But obviously Disney don't have the best track record, and people do have the right to be concerned. But as we have seen from public filming, I honestly don't think people have too much to worry about. You know, we're still getting the same stuff filmed in Cardiff. We've got the same quirky monsters. We've got a massive slug monster. I do think that it is going to be the same show that we love. However, I do think things might become potentially heated or whatever behind the scenes again, because obviously if you have an external studio wanting something different, it can complicate things. So that's something to bear in mind. That is something that could happen later down the line. Obviously, I don't want to speak, in doom or whatever, but that's something I am just cautious about, because, I don't want any, major things affecting the franchise, because I love it. So, hopefully, things do smooth over if anything happens, and, this partnership continues and proves to be successful, and Doctor Who is given the love it deserves. But yeah, with that being said though, thank you very much for tuning into today's video. If you are new around here, be sure to subscribe for more nerdy content, and I will see you all next time. Thank you very much for all the support, and goodbye for now.